Hi guys, today's workout will be a beginning bar basics workout. It's a workout for any of you who have never done bar before and are interested in learning the correct form and alignments for bar classes, and also for those of you who want to get back to the fundamentals and basics to make sure that you're doing bar exercises correctly. Even though you've been doing bar forever, it's always good to go back to the basics and just check in with your body and make sure that you're doing the most advanced exercises with proper form and alignment to protect your body and to protect your joints. Today I am very sore from doing the bar workout yesterday, so it's a perfect workout for somebody who is just recovering from maybe some fatigued muscles as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It's great here at the lake this morning. It's very hot, very humid. I'm excited to get a workout in with you guys at home, so let's go ahead and get started. Find a support. I'm just going to hold on to my railing. You can hold on to a chair as long as it's sturdy and is not on wheels and is not going to go anywhere, or a tabletop or countertop. So all you need is a mat if you've got it. So go ahead and get started with your hands holding on to the support, to the bar. We're going to start with your feet sit bone distance apart. And like I said, we're going to go through some basics, so we're going to slow it down, but you're still going to shake and you're still going to feel your muscles working. So look down at your feet and make sure that your toes are staring straight ahead, and make sure that your kneecaps are staring straight ahead over your second toe. Okay, you're going to hear me say that a lot because it's very important. So from here, just rock forward and back, heels to toes, and I want you to find a spot in the center of your foot so that you have 60% of the weight in your heels and 40% of the weight in your toes. Lift up all 10 toes and just wiggle them around. And now roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Feel like you're standing up against an imaginary wall, from your heels to your tailbone to your shoulder blades to your head, and even the back of your rib cage. I didn't mean to skip that one. That's pretty important. Go ahead and float the heels up. Are you still up against that imaginary wall? And then lower the heels back down. Let's do that again, nice and simple, just warming up. Float the heels up and then lower the heels back down. The goal is to float straight up to the sky versus forward. So you're going to stay with your spine up against that imaginary wall the entire time. So I'll show you the wrong way. When we lift our heels, sometimes what we do is we shift forward towards our support or towards our tippy toes. And rather than going forward like this, I want you to keep the weight right up over your heels and engage your glutes and your hamstrings, the back side of the body, to lift. And feel the back of the head, the crown of the head, reaching and lengthening up to the sky. We're going to do this for 3 more times, scooping the belly to lift, relaxing the shoulders, 2, and now go ahead and lift and hold. Stay there, and now let's just check in with our alignment. Where are your heels? So we want to make sure that our heels are still in line with our second toe. Oftentimes, if we have weak arches or weak ankles, our heels will fall out, and will fall out to the outside of our foot, and the big toes are light. Press equal weight into your big toe mound and your pinky toe mound, and see how that pulls your heel back in alignment with your second toe. Now from here, if we have really weak ankles, some of us pop up and lock our ankles to stay there. I want you to lower your heels down just a hair so you keep it in the muscle rather than popping through the ankle joint. Now from there, you're going to hold, engage your glutes, the back of the body, pull the belly in tight. We're going to lift up just a 1/2 inch and down a 1/2 inch. Up a 1/2 inch and down a 1/2 inch. So it's very small, very controlled. We're not bouncing. We're just floating up a little bit and down a little bit. And if you can keep the ankles soft, right? We're not popping all the way up. Keep the ankles soft, and we're trying to keep your heels in line with your second toe. So just focus on that. Focus on your knees staring straight ahead. And just think down to your toes. Are all 10 toes equal into the floor? We're not rolling out, we're not rolling in. Nice and simple for 3. Lifting straight up that imaginary wall, 2. One more time, hold. Check in with your body, make sure you didn't pop the ankles. Now let's lower almost all the way down, maybe 1 inch from the ground with your heels. Soften your knees just a tad bit. Now we're going to press down just a hair away from the floor and then float up just a 1/2 inch. Go again, down just a little bit and up just a little bit. So we're close to the ground, hovering our heels right above the ground. And now I want you to think about emphasizing on the way down versus the way up. So you're squeezing your sit bones gently to press down, pressing and pushing your heels towards the ground, reaching down, feeling the back side of the body push your heels down. Good. And so imagine as if you had little sandbags underneath your heels. You want to squish and push into those sandbags. Pressing down for 5. Pull the belly in as you press down, 4. Driving down for 3, 2, and 1. Good, now holding there. Let's lift the heels back up. Again, remembering not to lock. Can you soften your knees and bend down? Now hold here. Did you hinge forward? If you did, let's push our upper bodies back so you're up against an imaginary wall. Your knees are bent. Knees stare straight ahead. Equal pressure in all 10 toes. Now from here, you're going to lift all the way up and bend the knees to come back down. Now I'm not going very low. Number one, I'm really sore from yesterday's bar class. Number two, you don't have to go really low. You're going to go to where you can keep your alignment. So if you get down and you feel your knees start to wobble in and out, that's maybe a little too low. Or if you feel your heels wobble in and out, you're probably going too far. So take your time, find your range of motion that you can stay in that nice alignment with your knees staring straight ahead over your second toe. Good, keep going. I'm going to turn so that you can see the front of my body, so you can see where my knees are going and my toes are going. They're staring straight ahead. You're going to go straight down and right back up. Going down that imaginary wall and right back up. If you need to slow it down, you can. It's more important that we get that proper alignment than it is about speed. We're not bouncing, we're not pulsing, we're just going straight down and right back up. Do 2 more times, coming down, up that imaginary wall with the crown of your head. 1 more time, coming down and hold. Stay there. I'm going to turn on profile again. You're going to focus on that alignment. Pull the belly in tight, stay tall. Now from here, can you go down 1 more inch and lift up just 1 inch? Do that again, go down 1 inch and lift up 1 inch. If your heels are wobbling in and out here, set your heels down and do it with heels down. Down 1 inch and up 1 inch. And just practice with your heels down if you need to, and eventually you'll be able to keep those heels up once you get the ankle strength. As you come down, pull the belly in. We're going down that imaginary wall, remember. Knees facing straight ahead. Think sit bones going down towards your heels. Shoulders relax back. Last 5, nice and slow. For 4, keep it small. For 3, we're not bouncing, it's nice and controlled. For 2, 1 more time, come down and hold. Now just stay here. Are all 10 toes equal into the floor? Are you pressing equally with your right foot and your left foot? Some of us have a stronger leg and we rely on it too much. Can you lift your left arm out? If you can, you're going to lift your right arm out. Did you change your body? Keep your body exactly as it was. Toes are relaxed. Try not to clench them. Shoulders relax down. We're holding for 10. Heels are nice and supported in line with your second toe. Holding for 7. 6. Shoulders relax down. Holding for 4. Maybe sink a little lower if you got it. Last 2 and 1. Both hands can come back down. Stand yourself all the way up. Set your heels down. Shake out the shoulders. Kick out the knees. Good. Now from parallel, we're going to turn into what's called first position. So heels together, toes apart. You're making a small V, or like a slice of pizza is what I like to say. We don't want to be way out here open. It's a small V, very small. So from here, I'm going to stand side first. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Can you keep your heels together and float the heels up? Now, if your heels pulled apart, let's just walk them back together. So maybe your V was a little bit too wide to start. So heels are together. Can you zip from your heels to your sit bones? So you're going to feel the glutes. It's about the back of the hips, right? So zip up like a zipper from your heels to your seat. Now from here, you're going to lower the heels down just a hair. They're not going to go much lower because they're together, right? And lift back up that hair. Do that again. Lower just a 1/2 inch and lift up a 1/2 inch. And again, lower and lift. So we're doing the same exact set that we just did in parallel, but in turnout. So our whole thigh is twisted out, turning out the whole time. So as you lift, can you squeeze the back of the body from the heels to your sit bones? Squeeze to lift. And think of pulling the low belly in and up. Ribs are knit, in and up. Go straight up against that imaginary wall. Remember, we don't want to lean forward. We're here for 5. Nice and controlled, no bouncing. For 4. Do you still feel your pinky toes in the ground, right? We're not just on the big toe. Do 1 more, you're going to lift and hold. Now stay there. Squeeze the inner thighs a little tighter. Now you're going to emphasize the way down. So squeeze those heels, press down just a little bit. We're not going all the way to the ground. And you lift back up just a 1/2 inch. Press down a 1/2 inch and up a 1/2 inch. I want you to think of pressing down. Continue, squeeze to press down. Squeeze in the back side of the body, driving through those heels. Remember, you have a weighted sandbag underneath your heels and you're going to squish down into it. Press down for 6. Press down for 5. Stay tall for 4. Last 3. Press 2. Last 1. You're going to lift all the way up. Now bend your knees into a frog position. Knees are out. And so you're going to hold here. And we're just going to check into our alignment before we move any more. Your knees are in line with your second toe. Okay, so they're not turned in and they're not turned way out. Knees in line with the second toe, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. So I'm going to turn to face you so you can see the positioning from the front, this turn out first position. Heels are together, toes are apart. Standing tall, knees are in line with your second toe. You're going to straighten all the way up and bend the knees to sink down. And again, straighten all the way up and bend to come down. So you're going to make your range of motion as big or as small as you need to stay in this alignment, right? You want to stay tall, so if you come down and all of a sudden you're rounding forward, maybe you're coming a little bit too far. Or if your knees start to turn in, let's make that range of motion a little bit smaller so you can control it. I'm going to turn back so you can face side, or I can face side rather. Good, all the way up and down. Last 5. Can you think of squeezing your heels on the way up? 4. Last 3. Zip up the whole back side of the body. 2. And 1. Now we're going to come down and hold. Stay here. Line your ribs right over your pelvis. Shoulders draw down like they're tucking into your back pockets. Crown of the head is up. You're going to go down 1 inch and up 1 inch. Down 1 inch and up 1 inch. Now it's starting to burn. Feel the knees stay apart. Reach the knees over the second toe. Coming down for 10, down for 9, down for 8. Sit bones towards your heels for 7. Last 6. Keep breathing. 5, down 4, 3, last 2. Hold down on 1, stay here. Open those knees, feel the back of the hips, open the thighs out a little bit wider. We're in a balance here. Can you lift the right arm up? Lift the left arm up. Squeeze those thighs, open the knees a little bit wider, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Set your hands down, set your heels down, kick it out, circle the feet, circle the ankles. Good, we're going to go into one more pose, which is very common in bar class, which is a wide second position. So you're still turned out, but you're stepping apart wide. Your knees, again, are facing over your second toe. One hand on the support, or both hands, depending on which way you're facing. You're going to bend your knees to sink down and all the way back up. Do that again, bend the knees, come down. And now here, a common thing is our knees turn in. Right? We collapse into the arch of our foot. So can you keep the arch light? And that will help to keep your knees back over that second toe. Squeezing the back side of your hips to keep the knees open. Keep those thighs pressing back as you bend. Good. Let's go down for 10 and all the way up. Down for 9. You can do this all the way up. Down for 7. Think of your arches. Keep them light for 6. Are both hips going down at the same time? Or do you feel like you're climbing a ladder, climbing down a ladder, I should say? So make both hips equally go down together. Now I lost count. Let's go down for 4. Sit bones to the ground for 3. Last 2. Can you stay tall? One more time. Hold down there. Now stay there. Your hands, put one hand on one glute, and now open up so you can feel the back side of your hips working to keep those thigh bones open and pressing back. Now stay there. We're going to go down 1 inch and up 1 inch. Press down. Press down. So it's slow and controlled, thinking of getting your sit bones to the ground. Relax the toes. Make sure that you're not gripping. Weight is in the heels. Arches are light. Knees are going to pull apart from each other. So feel the thigh bones like they're pulling out of your hip sockets to press down. Stretch them wider. For 5, press 4, press 3. We're almost there. Scoop to the belly to press 2, and now hold there. Float the arches, toes are relaxed. We're going to lift up 1 inch and down, up 1 inch and down. Little different emphasis, we're lifting up. Think of your sit bones squeezing together to lift up. So sit bones together, squeeze to float up. Just 1 inch, no bouncing, slow and controlled for 10. Up 9, relax the shoulders, 8. Up 7. Keep the knees turning out. 6. Last 5. Up 4. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Come down and hold. Reach the right arm up. Reach the left arm up. Good. Now find your alignment. Find your focus. Shoulders down. Squeezing the back side of your hips. Can you open the legs a little bit wider? Squeeze. Good. Toes are relaxed. Holding for 10. You got this. 9, 8. We're almost done. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Rest your arms down. Heel toe your feet back together. And let's do a quick stretch. Both hands holding on to the rail or your support. Right hand hold on to the right foot, right where your shoelaces would be, and stand tall. Good. A lot of times we hinge forward, right? I want you to stay tall in this stretch. Soften your standing knee, and now push your pelvis forward. So your glutes are going to squeeze to push your pelvis forward to your support, and then pull the knee backwards. Relax the shoulders down, holding here. Take nice deep breaths. Good, and then release that right foot down. Left hand hold on to left foot right where your shoelaces would be. Stay as tall as you can. Bend your right standing knee. Now squeeze your sit bones, press your hips forward, and pull your left knee back behind you. Good, stay tall and just hold a couple deep breaths. Good, and then release. Both feet step down. You're going to take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee and sit into a chair position, stretching right underneath the glute. Sitting right back over your left heel. So put the weight into your left heel. Sit bones sit back towards the ground. Good, just take deep breaths. And then release, come all the way up, other side. Left ankle over the right knee, sit it back. And then all the way up and just shake out the legs, shake out the ankles. Thanks so much, you guys. I hope you enjoyed going back to the basics, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.